Welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about something your brain does every single day without asking permission. It's called the halo effect, and once you see it, you will never unsee it. Picture this. You meet someone attractive, and before they even open their mouth, your brain has already decided they're probably smart, kind, and trustworthy, too. That's not intuition. That's the halo effect at work. Over the next few minutes, we're going to pull back the curtain on this fascinating cognitive glitch, explore where it came from, how it sabotages workplaces and fuels marketing empires, and most importantly, what you can actually do about it. Here's our journey today. We'll start with the core idea, what this bias actually is. Then we time travel back to 1920, when a psychologist named Edward Thorndike first caught it red-handed with data. We'll compare the halo with its evil twin, the horns effect, then dive into two places where this bias does real damage, the workplace and the marketplace. And we'll close with practical, usable strategies to fight back. 6 stops, one big idea. Let's go. Here's the big idea in one sentence. Your overall impression of someone or something bleeds into every specific judgment you make about them. Edward Thorndike named this the halo effect, sometimes called the halo error, which is telling because it is an error. Your brain takes a shortcut, and that shortcut has consequences. Let's unpack exactly how this works. Let me paint you a picture. Someone tells you a colleague is charismatic. Before you've even met them, your brain has already preloaded assumptions. They're probably competent, creative, a great leader. None of that logically follows from charismatic, but your brain doesn't care. It takes the one shiny data point and paints the whole picture with it. Thorndike called this a constant error in psychological ratings, and the name stuck. Now watch what happens when we go back to where it all started. In 1920, Edward Thorndike was studying how military officers evaluated their soldiers. Each officer rated soldiers on separate traits: leadership ability, intelligence, physical build, character, and loyalty. If these ratings were truly independent, you'd expect a soldier might score high on physique, but average on intelligence. That's not what happened. Instead, a soldier rated high on one trait was rated high on every single trait. The correlations were so strong they were statistically impossible without some kind of bias. Thorndike had just discovered the halo effect, and he proved it wasn't a quirk of one officer. It was everywhere. This is where the halo effect gets uncomfortably real. Study after study shows that when we find someone physically attractive, we automatically assume they're also more intelligent, more competent, more trustworthy, and even morally better. This is called the attractiveness stereotype, and it's one of the most documented manifestations of the halo effect. The wild part? We do this in milliseconds, entirely beneath conscious awareness. Your brain sees a face and instantly fills in a whole resume of personality traits that were never actually there. Now let's take this into the place where it costs real money, the workplace. The halo effect isn't just a party trick for psychologists. It has serious teeth in the workplace. Performance reviews, hiring decisions, promotion discussions, all of them are vulnerable. When a manager lets one trait color their entire evaluation of an employee, the consequences ripple through careers, team morale, and the bottom line. Let's look at how this actually plays out. Let's put these side by side because they're two sides of the same broken coin. On the left, the halo. One great moment paints you as a superstar, and suddenly you can do no wrong. On the right, the horns effect. One bad moment, and you're branded. Same cognitive mechanism, opposite direction. In both cases, the evaluation is unfair and inaccurate. It's just that one version comes with a corner office and the other comes with a performance improvement plan. Neither one reflects reality. Here's the chain reaction. Step 1. A manager notices one thing. Maybe Sarah nailed a client presentation, or maybe she forgot to send a follow-up email. Step 2. That single data point triggers the halo or horns effect automatically. Step 3, and this is the insidious part. The manager's brain now filters all evidence. Every success that supports the halo gets a mental highlight. Every contradiction gets mentally deleted. Step 4. The review is written, it goes into the system, and now an unfair evaluation has become official. And that review shapes bonuses, promotions, and careers. Let's see how marketers exploit this exact same brain glitch on purpose. Marketers figured this out decades ago, and they have been using it against you ever since. Apple is the textbook example. You buy an iPhone, you love it, and suddenly, without ever touching a MacBook or an iPad, you assume they must be just as amazing. That warm glow transfers. This is why brands pour billions into flagship products, luxury packaging, and premium store experiences. They're not just selling you a phone, they're building a halo that makes every future product feel pre-approved. It's not manipulation, well, okay, it's a little bit manipulation, but it works because your brain wants it to work. I want to pause here because this is important. The halo effect isn't something that happens to gullible people or lazy thinkers. It happens to everyone, including every single person in this room. Thorndike found it in trained military officers doing their professional duty. So let's not feel bad about having this bias. Let's focus on what we can actually do about it. Awareness is the first step, but it's not the last. Here's the practical playbook. So here's your anti-halo toolkit. Number 1, structured rubrics. When you're evaluating someone, rate each trait independently. Don't look at the other scores until you're done. Number 2, 360-degree feedback. When you gather input from peers, subordinates, and managers, the halo effect in any single rater gets averaged out. Number 3, wherever possible, let objective data lead. Sales numbers, project completion rates, customer satisfaction scores, these don't care how charming someone is. Number 4, build the habit of asking yourself, am I haloing right now? Just asking the question disrupts the automatic bias. And number 5, awareness without action is just trivia. Use these tools. The halo effect is a feature of the human brain, but it doesn't have to be your destiny. Thank you.